이번에는 나라밖 소식입니다. 미국에서의 마지막 개척지라면 알래스카를 꼽을 겁니다. 여전히 개발이 안 된 곳이 많아서 마을까지 들어가려면 꼬박 이틀이 걸린다고 하는데요. 이러한 오지에 복음을 전하며 섬기고 있는 선교사들이 있습니다. 알래스카에서 전해온 소식입니다.
Alaska is by far the largest state in the nation, and much of it is land where no one can live.
You're looking at a state that's more than twice the size of Texas, that has fewer roads than the smallest state in the country.
There are nearly 225 remote villages here, accessible only by boat or how we're traveling.
Although missionaries and church planners first traveled to Alaska in the late 1800s, few indigenous evangelical churches exist today. As a result, international Christian organizations continue to send missionaries to reach people in these remote areas.
Coming to Alaska is like going to a foreign country. It takes 2 days of travel often to get out to the villages. You get there and they keep their old language. It's like being in another country.
Unfortunately, these missionaries are often unprepared, undersupported, and overwhelmed by the challenges of living in remote Alaska.
They come trained for that position, and what they're not prepared for is the isolation.
Mike and Renata Hazemer work with Arctic Barnabas, a ministry that steps in and cares for those who come to share the gospel.
Our mission in 2 words is strengthen and encourage. We want to strengthen and encourage those pastors and missionaries and ministry families that are out in the remote villages so that they can be effective disciplers and evangelists on the front lines.
They offer vital support and encouragement and have the means to reach these missionaries in even the most remote villages.
Our biggest goal is to simply come alongside them, strengthen them, encourage them, have fellowship with them. But sometimes our foot in the door is a project of helping them with something. How do you focus on doing ministry when living conditions are your primary focus? You can't do it.
Ed Denerd and his wife Barb moved to Bethel, Alaska 4 years ago to work with the Alaska Bible Seminary. After visiting since 2006, they thought they understood the native culture. But living there is a bigger challenge than expected.
It's hard to, like my board of directors is all Yupik. My board meetings are in Yupik. And then they shift to English when they need information from me, or we're in a dialogue back and forth, but their discussion is in Yupik.
For me, aside from missing my family, it's the inability sometimes to get what I need.
For Ed and Barb, encouragement from Arctic Barnabas, whether it's a card or even a surprise delivery, matters most.
Well, the watermelon story is pretty special because, it was just kind of an aside that we had made a comment to Mike one day that, how much we missed that.
In Bethel, a watermelon can cost $50, a price Ed and Barb couldn't justify. Michael's next visit answered the need.
It just shows that when we're talking and sharing whatever it might be, they are listening.
Arctic Barnabas also sends out a women's magazine, a newsletter, and host retreats for the missionary families. Michael and Renata recently went even further, building a new home with enough space for missionary families to come and stay, whether they're recovering from a medical procedure or just needing to rest and re-energize. Through these divine connections, pastors and their families not only survive, but thrive in Alaska's remote villages. And as they thrive, so does the church. Caitlin Burke, CBN News, Kenai, Alaska.